Welcome to Celtics Postgame Live, presented by your New England Ford dealers. Chris Mannix, Amina Smith here with you. And the Celtics win big against the Charlotte Hornets, 113-107. And Mannix, we talked about this in the pregame show, how important this game would be. Just what did the Celtics gain from this win?
Well, they gained a full place in the standings, only now one game in the loss column behind Charlotte, and they gave themselves a little boost of confidence against a team that they may wind up playing in some kind of play-in series. This had a playoff-type feel to it. Both these teams going back and forth, both teams having guys make big shots, both stars stepping up in big moments. LaMelo Ball with a career high tonight for Charlotte. Jason Tatum with some huge shots for the Celtics down the stretch. I mean, you had a little bit of everything. And the Celtics pick up their second consecutive quality win. That's important for this team as they move forward.
Yeah, a huge win for this Celtics team. Let's toss it out to Abby Chin, who's with Josh Richardson right now.
Josh, you knew this was going to be a physical game. The pace was relentless. How did you guys come through in the clutch?
Guys just made plays. Charlotte's a good team. They've been playing well. They got a lot of guys that can score and they get out and run. But, I think we did a good job of shutting that fast break, the transition game down a little bit, and just being aggressive.
For you, I saw you looking at your hand after making one of those 6 threes. Did you recognize it? You told me confidence was at a 10 tonight.
Of course I recognize it. I just had to make sure we were still cool. I take care of them. I wash them. I put lotion on them. I just got to, make sure we're still good.
They loaded up on Jason and Jalen tonight, and you came through along with Grant, Al, hitting shots. How important is that for this team?
No, it's big because, you got guys that can get buckets like they can. Teams don't have a choice but to load up on them. So it's on us to make those shots, and when we do, I think it gives us a better chance to win.
There's clearly a sense of urgency on this team right now. How important was this win?
It's huge, and from here on out, every win is huge. And I think that our chemistry has been good lately, and just how we've been playing. Attention to detail has been big.
Josh, thank you. Congrats.
Thank you.
A big night for Josh Richardson, 23 points off of the bench in this Celtics win. Let's bring in Scal, who's live inside of TD Garden. And Scal, you saw Josh Richardson right there speaking to Abby. Just how impactful was he in this game?
He was huge because Charlotte made a very conscious effort to take away Tatum, have a guy at the rim, not help off of Jaylen Brown, make sure Rob Williams was taken care of, and they were leaving Al Horford, Josh Richardson, and Grant Williams wide open. So he's got to step up and make those shots. It is so important moving forward for the Celtics to have success. And then Josh Richardson was also a beast on the defensive end. But guys have to be able to make shots that will open up the floor for Tatum and Brown and the rest of the guys when that happens.
And Mannix, where did Josh Richardson stand out the most on the court tonight?
Look, I thought his defense was very good. The Celtics team defense overall was very good. But having him come off the bench and score 23 points and make 6 3-pointers, that was enormous. I mean, this Celtics team is one of, I think, the top 5 or 6 teams in the league in terms of points they get from their starting lineup. They haven't always had the most consistent production off the bench. Going 3 deep on that bench tonight and getting Josh Richardson to step up and make shots. I mean, Scal called it during the game. There were a couple of times during this game where they were broken plays, and Josh Richardson, his shooting effectively saved them there. So his perimeter shooting tonight was really a big factor in this win.
And Scal, there were plenty of times where Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, they were double teamed out there on the court. Just who else was able to step up and help move the Celtics to a win tonight?
Yeah, I mean, Richardson, I thought Al Horford in the third quarter made those 2 corner threes. Grant Williams had some corner threes. Like I said, that's part of the NBA, and that's the job of role players, is to hold those corners for your superstars and be ready and have an aggressive mindset. If you miss 3 shots in a row, you got to be ready for the next one. It's Charlotte today said Jason Tatum is not going to beat us. Like, he's too good. We have to have a guy consistently on him. We can't leave Jaylen Brown. So this is how this game goes. And I wouldn't be surprised if other teams play us this way, because I don't think a lot of other teams believe in our shooting. But the guys today, and you can see the high assist numbers because Brown and Tatum were giving it up. But the guys today had to step up and make those shots, or the Celtics aren't winning this game.
And let's take a look at how it all went down in that fourth quarter. And plenty of big plays here, Mannix. But really, I'm thinking about just throughout this fourth quarter how the Celtics defense really helped push them to a win.
Yeah, their defense there. But there you see Jaylen Brown, who wanted another piece of Terry Rozier after the way Terry played in that last game against the Celtics, making a big shot there. But Charlotte There was no quit in them throughout. P.J. Washington knocks down a three. LaMelo Ball finds Terry, who makes a three to tie the game at that point. Josh Richardson actually lost him on that play, but the Celtics, they had great resolve in this one. Jason Tatum going to the basket, being aggressive. Scal was calling for that all throughout the second half of the fourth quarter with Mason Plumlee on the bench. Jason Tatum gets to the free throw line, gives the Celtics a lead, and here that defense takes over one more time. I don't know what P.J. Washington was thinking.
Oh, yeah, I don't
think
know
Rob
what he
Williams
was thinking.
airborne before he even caught that ball, but he had no chance at completing that. Then Jaylen Brown, another terrific defensive play to ice this victory, getting LaMelo Ball to take a tough shot.
And Scal, you talk about the pace throughout this entire game, especially also in that fourth quarter. How did the Celtics handle pace in this matchup?
So defensively, I mean, the start of the fourth quarter was not good. They were getting out ball, like dominated that first stretch. But then in the second, I thought the second half of the fourth quarter, they did a much better job. They got into what they wanted, and then they got their defense set. And I think making shots have a lot to do with that. Keeping your turnovers down had a lot to do with that. But there was a point, this game was on the verge, and different guys made big plays. We talked about Josh Richardson, Grant Williams, even Jason Tatum, attacking Plumlee, getting him off the floor. And that's a huge thing for the Celtics because they usually struggle against shot blockers. So I just thought whoever was calling the game, whether it be Ime or Marcus Smart or Jason Tatum, whoever was calling the game in that last 6 minutes, they did a fantastic job of setting up the Celtics, giving them the best chance to win.
Last couple of minutes, Scal, when Terry Rozier made that three-point shot top of the key, my initial thought was, here we go again. Terry is going to get hot. He is going to make a couple of shots, and this game is going to slip away. But I love the response the Celtics had, especially offensively, going to the basket, not settling for contested jump shots, not just trying to go one-on-one, taking the ball to the rim, forcing into the teeth of a defense that didn't have a shot blocker out there on the floor. The Celtics' trips to the free throw line were key to winning this game. Jason Tatum made a couple of free throws. Marcus Smart made a couple of free throws. That's a good sign for this team offensively when they're not just settling for jump shots.
Yeah, everything coming together for this Celtics team in tonight's matchup. All right, thanks so much, Scal. Listen now to Abby Chin, who's with Ime Udoka right now.
Ime, this was a game of runs. How much progress has this group made in dealing with those runs and then also coming through in the clutch?
Yeah, a lot. I think we've been in a lot of situations early in the year where we dealt with some adversity and didn't always handle it the best. Tonight we bounced back very well. Could have been a little sharper on both ends of the floor to avoid letting them back in the game, but it's a tough team to guard that plays with a ton of pace, ton of handlers, ton of scorers, and every time they cut it down, close enough, I think we made big plays on both ends. Guys hit big shots, and we fought through the adversity.
They clearly made it a point of emphasis to stop Jason and Jaylen. How big was it to see other guys stepping up and hitting shots?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that quite a bit this year. Obviously, it's much easier when that happens, and Josh and Marcus, those guys have 22, 23, and Grant coming off the bench hitting threes as well. But Jaylen and Jason did what they were supposed to do. Trust their guys. It's not always going to be your night offensively, and you just have to be bait at times. And so 9 assists and 6 assists from those two guys shows that they're willing passers, trust their teammates, and those other guys led us to it, but they had to be unselfish enough and selfless enough to make the right plays.
Clearly, much more of a sense of urgency right now. Where is that coming from?
Just finally having the lineup together and having some consistency. I think, not to say there was an excuse built in, but we had to have some guys that were in there for a stretch of games, and we've seen that now. It's past the halfway point, so you start to feel that urgency as far as that. But we just want to play better basketball, which we have, and stay consistent as far as that. So guys are taking the right approach, coming in every game the right way, and I think you've seen that over the last 15 or so games.
Thank you. Congrats.
Thank you.